Hi, my name is Terri Sproul, and I want to welcome you to my studio. Tonight is our Tuesday night live show, and we are doing our art journals again. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. We've got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to hop right down to that second camera and get working, but I got lots of stuff to talk about while we're working tonight, you know, design team calls and Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras and let's get going. Oh, that's my blog, so check that out tomorrow. Let me take that down, and I will have hopefully my all the links for tonight's show on there tomorrow. And, oh, hold on. Okay, also tomorrow we will be, tonight, if you have any questions, if you put them in caps for me, between me and Joe, we'll do our best to catch the questions. Okay, little bit of work off camera, not a lot. I gessoed my background with white gesso. Then I took some gel medium, regular old gel medium, and I've just put a little bit onto the background, and then I added this is actually not a library, a dictionary pages. So I just rip it directly off the back. Laid those down and let those dry. Now I'm just going to rip off all the excess, because I didn't want it to have that really clean edge there, even though I'm getting the clean edge on this side, but that's okay. Because you know me, I can work with anything.
Did you carefully select your words, Terri?
I carefully know I did not select my words. Like I said, these are the last two back pages. Now, the technique that I want to do over top of this, I do need to have gesso. It needs to be sealed. So I am going to grab some gesso real quick, and I'm just grabbing a credit card. And I'm going to real quickly put some gesso across the back there. And that's just going to seal my background so that I can do the technique that I want to do next. And you do need to have gesso on your page if you do this technique that I'm ready to show you, because gesso will act as a resist for this technique. So make sure you use gesso. I am using the Cottonwood Arts journal that I love so much. I normally don't need to gesso my backgrounds because the journal is a really good journal and it really doesn't bleed or anything, but I have to for this technique. I'm going to real quickly just give that a dry. Hopefully I got most of that dry. Okay, now this technique, well actually what I'm going to do tonight is something called color blocking. I actually had a special request for color blocking. Somebody specifically asked me to teach this. Now what's good about color blocking is it allows you to have fun in your background. And if you get something down in your background, or say you make a background is what I'm trying to say. If you make a background you don't like, what you can do is do this color blocking technique that I'm going to show later to cover it up. So this is a fun technique to cover up, say, a bad background. First thing I'm going to do is put some acrylic paint down, and I am using all of DecoArt Media. And I've taught you guys this before. This is a stencil from Sin City Stamps. You take a wet paint and put your stencil down, and then you can take it directly off with your baby wipes. Make sure you move your baby wipes around, or it will not remove the paint. It will actually add paint back on. And a lot of times I'll take it off also, and I'll just soften my edges with a little bit of my paint also, with the baby wipe. And then I'm going to go in with another color. Now you can clean your brush or not. I'm actually going to not clean my brush here, so I'm going to have a little bit of yellow and orange on there, which isn't all bad. Just makes a little bit of lighter color. And another stencil. And again, baby wipe. And just doing the same thing on the other side here. And remember, if you want to soften your edges, you can also take the baby wipe to it real gently, and it kind of will soften your edges a little bit. You do go through a lot of baby wipes with this technique, but that's not all bad. I get my baby wipes at the 99-cent store, so you can buy them. They're really, really cheap. And the stencils I am using, these are all from Sin City Stamps, but I actually have a whole line of stencils coming out any day now. I actually was hoping to have them today when I did this show, but it didn't happen. They didn't get here in the mail, but that's okay. They'll be here probably tomorrow. While I'm talking about Sin City Stamps, they are having a design team call right now. So if you love stamps and stencils and masks, Sin City Stamps would be a great company to design for. They are doing a design team call right now, and you can find that on their blog, which is sincitystamps.blogspot.com. And up at the top, you'll see some little tabs, and one of them says Design Team Call. So check that out and see if you want to join our design team. It's a 6-month commitment. It's not too bad. And it wouldn't be starting until February, so you wouldn't be starting until after the holidays are over. So that won't be too bad either. So let's go with this one. So think about that. If you have any questions, you can always ask me, as far as the design team. So as you see, I'm just getting some background down. I think I'm done with the stencils. I could go back in at this point also and add color on. Where's my baby? I like to use makeup sponges, and you get the pounce on, pounce off, so you don't want a lot of ink, and then you can pounce on the through the stencils, and you'll get a really clean stencil that way. So you could do that. So at this point I could stencil it on. I don't have a lot of paint on my book here. There we go. So you could continue to put more stencils on top. Also, if you check out some other people who do this background technique, they don't even use stencils. They'll just come in with, these are marker paints, or just paint, and put little lines in the background, and just do some fun doodling. I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason. So this could be a great way to, just put a background together. We could also use toilet paper rings, little paint down, some toilet paper rings in here. So this is just kind of just having fun with your background. If you don't have a toilet paper ring, I think, oh, there it is. Caps are another one that works really good. So take a cap again and get some interesting little designs on the background. Okay, so again, as you see, I'm not even thinking, I'm just going for it. You could go in at this point with some stamps. Now I am going to use Stays On ink for my stamps. This is a diamond stamp from Sin City. And this is a Midnight Blue Stays On. I just picked up the first color that was on top there. And I'm not even stamping the whole image. I'm just getting a little bit back there. Okay. Oh, this is my stamp from Sin City also. This is on one of the journaling stamps, journaling sets. This is a funny little swirly type stamp. Again, just stamping it down, not even worrying. So again, if you, like I was saying, if you make an ugly background that you absolutely hate, you're going to like this technique because it's going to fix it all up for you at the end. Credit card, you can take a credit card and just make little lines. Hash marks. So there's lots of ways to get some really cool techniques or fun stuff in your background. So I've done a lot of just miscellaneous stuff back there. No rhyme, no reason. Okay, let me bring in a little closer so you can see what I've done back here. So as you see, there's just really no rhyme or reason. It's just kind of hodgepodgey. Okay, of course I'm going the wrong way. You can never go the right way. So that's just a really fun, crazy background, as you see. Okay, now this is also a really good technique for some of you guys, is, you know, journals, you write a lot of personal stuff in and nobody ever sees it, so it's not that big a deal. Somebody like me, my journals go to shows and people see my journals. So sometimes I don't want to, I was just making sure my book was going the right way. Sometimes I really want to write something personal in here, but I don't want the world to read it. This would also be a really good technique to do right now for that. So I could come in with a marker or a pen, and I'm looking for one right now. Here's a Sharpie, that'll work. And just write about what's going on in my life and not worry about anybody seeing it because I'm going to go over this. So and no, I'm not going to read to you because again, this is very personal. So again, you can just come in here and write all over this. And again, I'm not worrying about it being upside down because nobody's going to ever read what I'm writing on here.
Is it about me? I'm sure it's about me.
No, that would be great stuff.
After I called today and made your day.
Yes, you made me feel all special today. Joe's part of, you can should tell us about your jumpstart real quick, Joe.
So I want you to check out Creative Jumpstart 2015. Look at the Create and Craft page on Facebook for details. But this starts in January 1st. Natalie Callback has gotten 23 artists from around the world. Each of us make a 7 to 10 minute video. And then every day in January, she plays one of those videos. You have access to the video for a whole year, and you're going to learn a ton of mixed media techniques. It's basically 3 hours of video tutorials you get to play the whole year, and it's $20 until midnight tonight. So $20 and you get 3 hours from 23 different artists around the world. It's called Creative Jumpstart. You can look for it on Facebook. Look for it on my Facebook page for the link and the coupon code. Otherwise, it's $25, and it is phenomenal. I mean, 3 hours from 23 different artists around the world.
And there are actually some big names that are involved in this. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them.
Me, I'm the big name. Hello. No,
You
Jen
are one
Cushman.
of the big names. Yes, you
Jen
are definitely.
Cushman, Suze Weinberg. Oh my gosh, no, I can't remember any of these names. Natalie Callback, Julie Faye van Balzer, Birgit from the Netherlands.
So as we think of more names, we'll throw them out there. Okay, now at this point, this is where you actually want to start doing what they call the blocking part. So I grab a pencil, and when you think about your drawing, you kind of want to think blocks, and I'll kind of explain that again. And it doesn't mean you have to have square blocks. I'm actually going to, actually, let me make sure this is all dry, so I can actually write on top of this, because I see that that's wet. Okay, so when you do this, and I'm going to draw upside down, so be patient with me. Think about blocking yourself off. Actually, I can't draw upside down. I'm sorry, I can't draw upside down. So I'm just going to make kind of like big leaves, kind of my idea in my head. Big leaves with branches coming down. And I made sure that this leaf, and you'll see this more when I go in a little more, is kind of touching this corner. So I kind of have made myself a block right here. And you'll understand this more as I go. So again, I'm going to come up and make sure I touch this top corner and make this leaf shape. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to hook up with this line that I got going here. So now I have kind of another block right here. I know you can barely see it, but kind of there's another block. So I got a block down here and a block down here going with this shape. And you can make your leaves don't all have, you don't even have to make leaves. You can make any shape you want. I'm just happening to make leaves. That's what I'm doing. So now I've touch this one and this one together, so now I kind of have another block kind of like right there in the center, like right here. And again, you'll understand more of what I'm talking about here as I go along. But I want you to, when I try to do a class, I want you to understand the thought and the process behind me doing this. This is why I explain it. So now I've made kind of another like box right here, and now I have another big box over here, and I guess I could come in and put one more in there. So now I have kind of another box over here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this back around towards you, and I'm going to continue to work upside down. I'm going to grab my Teflon sheet here. Actually, I'm just going to work on this. Now this, you do need to either have white paint, gesso, or Titan Buff would also work, kind of a creamy paint. So I'm going to use my gesso to do this technique, and some miscellaneous colors of paint that I have here on the side. And I am using all of DecoArt's brand new medias paints. I really like these paints. These are awesome paints, real good quality. So you want to work one color at a time. So the very first one I'm going to start with is going to be the magenta. And this technique you finger paint. So I'm going to start with this kind of corner over here. So I'm going to grab some gesso, and I'm actually going to come in and just start filling this corner in, this block. So that's where they get the color blocking. So I'm going around my shape. That was the leaf I made earlier. Now at this point, I'm going to come in with the magenta and start adding the magenta in with the gesso. So it's going to kind of wash it out, but smear it out too. And it gives us this really cool technique, really cool look. Oh, I really need to pull that gesso out so that I don't contaminate my gesso. Okay, I'm contaminating my gesso. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to pull something out on my sheet. So as you see, as I'm finger painting here, and I'm going right around that shape. So that block, oops, sorry, didn't mean to be out of thing, is kind of going to be in that pinkish color. So now I'm going to go to another one, clean finger, new block. I'm going to use this block. Actually, I'm going to go over to a block over here, let that one dry up a little bit. And again, I'm going to start with the gesso and kind of fill it in and work around that shape. So you see what I mean by it will all be covered by the time you're done, pretty much. So it doesn't matter that I wrote something or I don't like my background, because it's basically going to get covered, even though you can still kind of see parts of it through it, because gesso isn't completely covering it. So I'm going to go in with, this time with a blue. Blue is going to be my color I'm going to bring in. So I'm grabbing some blue with my finger again in the gesso and really smearing that out. Okay. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I did. I went out to the desert and partied and had some wonderful. I wasn't really with family per se. They've kind of adopted me as family, but it's not really my family. So now I've got two sections blocked off there. So let's start on a third. And this time I want to bring fluorescent magenta in. So again, I'm going to grab the white. Actually, this is, no, I don't want the magenta there. Come into this center section. Oh, I'm really excited though. Tomorrow, I'm getting my Christmas present really early because I'm going to a play. I'm going to see Wicked. So I'm very excited. This is, I love plays, and this is one that I have not been to yet. And I'm going to come back in and redefine these leaves that I have in here also. The shapes that I originally made. So you can do any shape you want. So again, there's another section blocked off. Going in with some, grab some paint. And I'm using fluorescent magenta this time. There we go. Love the way, you know, when you finger paint, you're going to see that it flows so differently than using a paintbrush. It's just really kind of fun. And it's kind of freeing too. I like to finger paint. So there's another section done. So you see what I mean by it blocking it off. So this is why they call it color blocking. Okay, I want to use green this time. Let's bring green in. So again, starting off with my gesso. Yeah, we've been having, I know this seems funny, but as Southern Californians, when it rains, we get all excited. It's raining all day today. I was so glad. Except for I'm kind of bummed because it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, and I'm going to be downtown trying to enjoy myself. I don't want it to rain tomorrow. So again, I'm just putting the gesso in there. Going right around those shapes. I haven't even looked. Is there any questions? I apologize. I haven't even looked. I apologize. I've been so having fun with this finger painting, I didn't even look at the comments. So now I'm bringing the green in. I need more gesso. Bringing another color in. This is one of my favorite greens. It's called Green Gold. It's actually a golden product, but I'm sure that DecoArt has that same color. I probably will buy it from them next time I'm out of that color. Ta-da! See where it's coming into it, where I'm blocking it off? You're understanding more about the concept of blocking now? Okay, so what's going to be my next color? No, I don't want black. Oh, let's use this.
And DecoArt does have a color called green gold.
I figured they did. It was pretty much a given. I think the only reason I hadn't bought it yet is because, like I said, I had it already in golden products, and I'm sure I'll be out of it soon because it's one of my favorite greens, so I have a tendency of using it a lot. Some of you guys have gotten the DecoArt Media Starter Kit. That's a great kit if you haven't checked it out. They did have it on sale. I'm not sure if it's still on sale. I think it was like $39. And you got the whole, you got a starter kit. I think it was 7 or 8 different colors of paint. And then you got, I think, the gesso and the crackle medium and a few other really cool things with their starter kit. So if you haven't checked that out, if they still have it on sale, it was a really good deal. Okay, so now I was going to bring this kind of, this is, I think, burnt umber. No, it's yellow ochre, sorry. Yellow ochre in. So you see where I was saying that if you made a really bad background, how you could go over it really well and get this really, and see how the leaves are starting to come out now? See the leaves? Starting to show up. I still got to bring a few more out because I got this one right here, this big section here. What are we going to use there? Let's use, oh, I have fluorescent pink. Let's go with fluorescent pink. Okay, so this is the last section here I need to bring in. Where's my leaves? Okay, hold on. I'm almost out of paint again. So close. Oh well. More paint. Oh, there we go. Okay, and this one I wanted to use, oh, the fluorescent pink. So there's the fluorescent pink in there. Okay, so now I've got it all color blocked out and I have my leaves now popping off the page, as you see. So let me clean my fingers off. And you know, if you're doing this at home, you can spend a little more time than I have on doing this. I'm doing it a little quicker than I probably would for, you know, my own personal, because this is actually very soothing. If you really take your time, and all that finger painting is very soothing. Now let me grab, I'm going to use the black Liquitex marker, because that's what I happen to have on my desk close by. So you could use any black pen at this point. Actually, I really need to dry. Hold on. Okay. So now you can come in with your, you know, a black pen. A few of them that would work really well on top of acrylic paint. That would be a definite must. This is acrylic paint, so this would obviously work on top of acrylic paint. Your Faber-Castell big pit pens work on top of acrylic paint, so you could definitely use that. This also the which I guess they're getting hard to find, the Scarlet Lime pens are really great for writing on top of acrylic paint, but they are getting really hard to find, I guess. So, and my paint's not completely dry, so I'm kind of making a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. Oh, come on, flow. There it goes. And if, again, if you were doing this at home, you really should let it dry a little more, because I'm getting paint all over my tip because I didn't let it dry well enough. So that's my own fault. Okay. Let me dry a little bit. Okay, let's see if I can get it to work now. So all I'm doing is going over my pencil lines that I had made originally to bring out this image that I made. Really, let your paint dry, people. Don't force it like I am. Because it's making a mess, but that's okay. But you guys are getting the idea of where I'm going. There we go. See, that's looking better. I likey. So you see where I've got it all blocked off by colors, you know, so that's where the color blocking comes in. That's where that technique comes in. Okay, I want to use my new letters from Sin City Stamps, and these are really awesome letters. They're a little tall. They're about 1.5 inches tall. They do come with the numbers and the their silhouette. What's the word? Symbols also available. I think I'm going to do the word happy, because this page just makes me happy. Now, right now, if you order, this is all the way through the end of the year, so make sure you do this before the end of the year. If you order the alphabet stamps, I'm looking for the A, you get the numbers and the symbols for free. All you have to do is put in the code free in the coupon when you order. And again, that's from sincitystamps.com. Of course, I'm having a tough time finding the A. There it is. Okay. So you see they're nice, nice size letters. They would be great for art journaling, and they would also be very good for scrapbooking too. They're a decent size. Okay. Now you do want to use a permanent ink when you go to do over top of acrylic paint. That's important. I am using Indian ink from Stuart Superior. You can tell it's a well-loved ink pad because look how dirty it is. But you could use StazOn. You could use Mento? Why am I drawing a blank on how to say that? From Ranger. And I'm sure there's a couple more out there that are permanent. But make sure you use a permanent ink over top of acrylic. It really does make a difference. And yes, I'm going to attempt to stamp upside down. And so far, so good. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with these letters. I love the shape of them. And I am purposely not trying to get them in a direct, a perfect line. And that's a great tip to do. I used to tell these people in scrapbooking too, don't stress on trying to get it perfectly. Make it purposely not straight, and then you don't have to worry about it being wrong. Right?
I love purposefully not straight.
I do too. Actually, I think I'm going to not put this one on the block because I'm right at the edge of the crack of the book there. So I'm going to have to manipulate this stamp to work for me. So if you don't use the block, you can usually manipulate it a little better. And again, if it's not perfect, guess what? I can fix it. So as you see, I just missed it just a tiny, tiny bit there. So I can go in with my black pen. And fix that right there. Fix that right there. And nobody would ever know that I messed it up. Now at this point I could leave the letters just like that, or I can go in with my this is actually a painter pen from Elmer's Glue. Elmer's makes this one, and this one's a white one, and I'm just shaking off camera because the camera doesn't like shaking. And you could come in and just do some really cool outlines right along the edge of your letters and make your letters stand out even more if you want. You know, it's all up to you how you want it to look. Or you could just leave it as is. So it's really, you know, you can make them pop more or not. It's all up to you on what you want to do. Now also, since I do have my paint pens out, you can come in and make some doodles at this point. You know, like maybe do some little dots right along my edge here, just to do some more details. Something so simple can really, you know, add a lot of detail to the page. Those simple little dots, look what they did. It doesn't even have to be anything fancy. See how simple those little dots made the page just pop a little more? See that? So you don't have to do sometimes things that are fancy. Let's see if I can get this to move the right way. Let's see if I can get it to move at all. There it goes. See how the simple little dots just brought that out? And then, you know, all the background is still showing in those leaves that I drew out. So you can do something really simple, or you can even do something really fancy. I could have made those all into big flowers and, you know, really got a little fancier. Now, the disadvantage, though, if you made something really big, like a flower or something, you might read what you wrote back there if you wrote something. So make sure that you think out. Like, I can see one word here, but all it says is today, so nobody knows that I might have wrote something bad about today or something good about today. You know, it's all real simple. So that's color blocking. I'm pretty happy with that, so I might just stop right there. Does anybody have any questions on color blocking? Kind of understand the concept now? It's just making blocks and then coloring each section in individually in its own color. And then look what a pleasing page that made. Okay, any questions? Also, please join my group on Facebook called All Things Terri Sproul, and put your pages that are inspired by mine. I do want to start doing prizes again, but I've been getting so little of you guys participating lately. Used to be a bunch of you that I haven't been giving prizes out. So, okay, I'm going to switch back cameras. Well, actually, zoom in there. See those letters? Aren't they awesome? See how you can still kind of see the background just a little bit? You can see the stamp, but it's kind of still hidden too. Fun technique, huh? Okay, I'm going to switch cameras and say goodbye. If nobody has any more questions. Okay, anybody have any more questions? Looks like we're pretty good. So again, check out the design team call for Sin City Stamps if you want to join that. That's about all that's going on there. I will be having class next Tuesday, and I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm hoping to have my new stencils by then, so I got a really cool Santa stencil coming that I designed that I've been waiting for it to come. I was hoping to have it today. So we might be doing something Christmas next week. Okay, no questions? Okay, thank you guys so much. Again, we had quite a few people here. We had almost 50 people again, 48 people in the room. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you liked my art journal page. And it made me happy. So hopefully it made you happy. Everybody have a great night. Thank you.